is 3.1.
It is.
Okay.
They do, but from 3.5 on, they do a soft ROM.
Yeah, yeah, which happens every time you boot up.
Right.
Okay.
And then they do another one on 3.9. And it actually boots twice. I mean, you can see it'll boot one, boom, stop, and just go right through it and reboot again, and reboot that ROM again, If they were smart, if they really want to use that ROM, not that hard, they should just burn the series and sell them as 3.9 ROMs, so then you wouldn't have to go through all this silly rebooting nonsense.
Okay.
It would be faster.
Yeah.
So I told them maybe it's good for you. I've talked to the people at Individual Computers in Germany, and they're making another run of those boot up IDE controllers, the Zorro cards.
Oh, nice.
They give you 4 IDE attachment points. You can have 4 drives, or according to him, you can plug it into like one of these and just use any IDE DVD burner or a CD burner. Yeah, it'll work fine.
Did you say that also was going to have a USB something on it?
They're putting an attachment for their Rapid Road USB onto the card. My understanding is the one for the little 1200, the inexpensive ones. You have a little plate that you can put on these guys with 2 USB 2.0 ports on it. So that'd definitely be a welcome attachment. One of the big problems I've noticed on these is where I've been trying to search for stuff is being able to get information out of them to something else. Take it into my Mac. I mean, I was at the point where I was just about to buy a bunch of network cards from Individual. Just I'll just throw them on my network and do it like that because it's too hard.
Yeah.
I went out and I found a old Zip 100 USB that I could plug into my Mac Pro and format it for Windows NT, and the Amiga recognizes that, and so does the Mac, and that's how I've been doing things back and forth. But I said, you're much better with a CD burner, or actually, ideally, just put a network card in, which is what I probably do. Because that's the biggest problem now, is just being able to move files around on the thing. So what I've been doing is burning everything as a ISO 9660 disk on the Mac, and putting it in the Amiga because it's got a CD-ROM reader. But being able to bring things back, I take the cover off and plug my SCSI zip into the top cable here in order to get things back out of it. And it's just too much hassle. I just assume network of it to be done with it. Since 3.9, it's got a really good piece. It's got a really good TCP/IP stack built into it. That Genesis, I've used it before. It's real nice. And directory Opus 5 has got the FTP built into it. Makes it much easier. But network cards in them, then I could just FTP between the machines. It'd be a lot easier to do things instead of this nonsense about burning disk and moving them back and forth. And you're not going to read any floppies on a Mac, on a modern Mac. I mean, it'll read some Windows, high density ones. I've got a USB floppy, but that's just ridiculous. You're not going to do things like that. It can't read Amiga disk. It can't even read the old Mac format. But I've got a bunch of stuff in my Quatras that were Mac low density, and Mac Pro won't read them. I mean, it's just, this is garbage. I'm not reading it. No, I'm not having anything to do with this at all. So, those are the problems I've noticed.
One of the things that we're trying to do is, as we've actually had the sound off of this recording, so if you could give everybody that's tuned in just a quick little tour once again of what all these icons are.
Sure. Well, this is Image Effects. We're going to try our best to get this to work.
Okay. Image Effects is like a Photoshop for media. And so most of these other icons are related to the video texture, you know, the video flyer at the very top. Auto Hue, of course, directory opus is what you're using to fix the file directories so that image effects will see the right directories. All in all, I really do like a lot of these icons they've got.
Hopefully now, maybe.
Richard.
No, it's not gonna be A. It doesn't like, it doesn't like the video output either.
You think so?
And I don't know of any way to turn it off. I mean,
Well, let me ask you this, it can work with all standard image formats, right? Like GIF and
oh yeah,
JPEG and stuff you see most of the time.
it's got, you can do effects, size, transform, composite, balance, full size, you know, color, there's your buffer, you want to make a bigger buffer for working with things. Your hooks are old programs, and A-Rex is another set of scripts to do things. It's got all the same filters, distortion, wave, effect, all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
This is 2.6. I really should have loaded 3.0 because I own 3.0. I didn't get around to loading it. It's a nicer interface, you know. And I kind of wish I had done that. At the time, of course, it's got your undo, and there's your cut and your text, and your paint bucket. Pretty standard stuff. Anybody that works on Photoshop is going to recognize about all these things. It works pretty well much just like Photoshop.
Yeah.
I mean, you know.
Now, one feature I'd like to ask is if they have the blotter for sampling a picture, sampling the color.
It's got that. I forget where it is now, but you know, don't get me lying. It does have that. But I think what you're talking about is not on the 2.6 version, which is what this is. I don't think that was introduced until 3.0. I wish I had put it on here now.
Well, put it on for next time.
That's what you can render it with. One of the cool things is that if you have a graphics card in here, one of the best graphic cards ever made was a Picasso 4, which I owned one and I foolishly sold it. That was a bad mistake.
Well, did you get good money for it?
I got real good money for it, but
Then it wasn't a mistake.
I would have been better keeping it because it would have gone excellent at this machine.
Yeah.
But it's got all these different render modules. These are all different cards, you know, made for Opal Vision, IV24. There's a Retina. There's your toaster. When you get the toaster boot, the toaster is an excellent rendering. You know.
Hey, would you like to try a composite monitor maybe in a few minutes? I've got a LCD with.
Yeah, if you got a composite, well.
Might load a little bit better, huh?
Yeah. The composite coming out of a 2000 is only in black and white.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so it's kind of self-defeating.
Ah, but when it's still low, can the toaster still work in black and white?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just, toasters are just very picky about that horizontal sync. If they don't get just the right sync signal back, they're accustomed to when NewTek designed and built those things, the toaster card is basically a hack, to be honest about it. You know?
Oh, yeah.
But when NewTek built those things, they were using Commodore monitors and using, you know, coming out of the 23 pin, there's a vertical sync and a horizontal sync.
Okay.
You know, besides the RGB, and the toaster relies on the horizontal sync, I believe. It needs that in order to boot and to run. And if it doesn't see that, it doesn't work. It just says, I'm not working, you know. I remember at the time when we were building flyer systems, toaster systems, things like that, it was a problem because, I mean, this was like in '96. Commodore had been out of business 2 years, and we were dealers, and we were running out of 1084 and 1950 monitors, 1960 Commodore. I mean, we were just running out of monitors, and we made a deal with the company up in the peak of Kansas called YC Plus. I don't think they're in business anymore. But they came up with the darndest little adapter, plug in the 23-pin port, and it had an S video cable coming out. You could plug it into any monitor with an S video, and it would work perfect with a toaster. You had no problems at all. You plug that in, plug in any monitor that had a YC, and you could buy this cable for, little dealers were buying them for like $19 or something, sell them for $39.95, and then you could go to Walmart and buy any monitor that you wanted, whatever size, as long as it had a YC input, you got a toaster monitor. And it worked great. It was a really good thing. Unfortunately, I don't think they're in business anymore. They're the ones who also made the YC card for this. You can get a YC signal. The top of the toaster is a D2 bus. I mean, it's a D2 video bus. That's what it is. It's a D2 digital signal. And you can get anything out of their component. Because YC Plus made Betacam out cards for this. You could run the Betacam decks. They make the YC cards. And they made a lot of neat things for it. Really improved it a lot. Because your regular toaster, as you can see, is just composite video. I mean, it's just regular. You got 4 inputs. You got 2 outputs, 1 preview, 1 program. It's just composite, which is fine, but not going to impress anybody today. They want HDMI or something else. But you could get HDMI out of the toaster if somebody wanted to make an adapter for it. I mean, it's got a D2 bus. All you have to do is do a little bit of engineering, a little card. You could get HDMI out of these things pretty easily. But also, the toaster along with the Amiga is basically a 4-3 machine. We're in a 16:9 world now.
Yes.
So that Magnavox monitor I picked up, I told you about, that I was running for these other ones to work on. It was 16:9. It took me forever. I finally found a 4:3 setting on it to change it from widescreen to 4:3 because the picture looked great, but if everything was stretched out, once I did the 4:3, it looked real good, for black and white. It does.
Got a little feedback from somebody online here. This is Iron Paul Spiker, well, looks like Spiderman. And he said he actually programmed the Image FX plugin like fireworks.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, I've always liked the program. I always thought it was a great program. It worked great with the toaster because, I mean, you could use the toaster as your display card, and that would render out. I mean, it was like having a second rendering engine on this thing. We brought the lights down.
Just wave around a little bit to see motion.
But that was one of the neat things about, Image Effect worked so well with the toaster because you use a toaster like a second display card, a render card, And I wish we could get the toaster to work.
Here's what it says.
They are picky about their sync.
Oh, yeah.
Very picky.
Said he made the GUI code for Image FX2 for Amiga, Mac, and Windows. They were pretty much bankrupt by that point.
Yeah. I knew the guys over there were really good guys, really nice guys. Some of the other people we dealt with was Visual Inspiration. They made programs that ran with the toaster too called Control Tower, which was really a neat program. It would automate everything. You could just go in there and take one of the big things that we used to use toasters for was doing what we call photo collages. The toaster would grab frame stores, and we'd have people bring just boxes and boxes of photos in. They wanted to have a video made from it. So we had a stand, and there was a foot pedal that plugged into the game port here, and it was actually a foot pedal. It would run the toaster and just take one picture, from a video camera. So we'd set up a copy stand, have a good 3-chip camera there, and you'd just be sitting there, if you're putting a picture in, stopping that, take a picture, going to the next one.
Mhm.
And you do hundreds and hundreds of these things. Then you go to control tower and you can program it. You say, I'll take all these pictures as frame stores, and we want to make, these all into JPEGs. And say, okay, what size? You can tell it. It would run image effects and resize all those, crop them and make them just perfect for a 4:3. Reposition them and do all this kind of stuff.
Mhm.
And otherwise, you'd be there for hours trying to do this kind of, just be there for hours and hours trying to do stuff like that. Let me see if I put, oh, this thing, it just doesn't like this video now. Sorry, guys. Let me see if I put, I can't remember.
Decent amount of memory in that thing.
Yeah, a neat thing that individual computers in Germany make, they make this thing called a Zoram card.
Yeah.
It just plugs into the Zorro port, and it's got 256 megabytes of memory. You just plug it in, and boom, there you go.
Nice.
Done.
Oh, very nice.
That's a great idea. I said, yeah, you can get them for 128 or 256. I said, 256 megs and an Amiga is just people can't understand. A lot of people can't understand because they look at that and say, "Oh, you only got 16 meg." I've got, well, my Mac Pro, I've got 32 gigs of memory in it. That's what it needs, for doing it.
Oh yeah.
When these things were done, they were so efficient. I mean, look at the entire operating system, 6 megabytes. 6 megabytes.
Mhm.
That's not one of my mailboxes on my Mac.
Right.
I mean, I'm running El Capitan on mine, and that's probably 140 megabytes, gigabytes.
Mhm.
It's enormous. These operating systems are, gone through the roof. Windows especially, that's really bad. But I mean. You look at this thing, and I'm using like 6.5 megs, and that's the entire operating system. That's everything, which is, that's not even a flash drive.
Yes.
Oh, I did put the control tower in. And we can get control tower up. I hope it's not running, but you can see that was really a cool program.
Huh.
Oh, come on, don't give me that. I think I forgot to do the assign on this. Tell me I'm going to go in here and edit the, okay, that's fine. Obviously, I forgot to put the assign in. Well, I guess I'll have to go back and do that. Anyway, go into here. Let's see what's in here. Okay. Here we go. Okay, let's see. Frame store. Okay, we can clear this down. Start. Say we had a ton of different things that we needed to convert. We got all these TIFF files. We got to make JPEGs out of them.
Mhm.
That's what our client wants. So we're going to lightweight. Clear that. Let's select all. So they're all over here. We want to load those as frames. That's where I'll fix that when I go back home tonight. I'm not going to rewrite it now. But we'll load those as frames, and we're going to save them out as frames. And we can use the switcher that's in the toaster to do it because it's got a bunch of conversion things built in. We can use the Amiga DOS that'll do certain things like annoying me. Right. There's no good scenario, we can use image effects. You know, we could do, different kind of YouTube things. Just doing something like this, I don't know why I'm having so much difficulty with this thing. Let me go and check something. Hang on a second, guys. Put this for a second. Obviously, when I put this in, I forgot to put the proper sign in somewhere. Excuse me, I haven't had to do this for several years, so I forgot a bunch of stuff. Open. Now let's see what we can do. Require.
Oh,
I used that I didn't, I didn't do on the side. Oh. I wonder if it's complete. Hold on.
Hey, John. News magazine for being featured.
yes, that's mine.
Look at this for a second. Thanks. Sure.
What did I do? Well, I did.
Our recital just got online.
Okay.
Yeah.
Keyboard. Got a bunch of keys that are sticking in it. I think it's just beat up a little too much.
Mhm.
Oh, is this Ron? Is your name Ron?
Yes, sir.
Okay, cool. Yeah, Mark was asking. I'm still with it.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Keyboard needs some love, huh?
Well, I've ordered one of those new Suma USB keyboard adapters to go in here because I'm so tired of taking these things apart, trying to fix them. I said, I'm just gonna use a Mac keyboard. Heck with it.
I hear you.
That was, that's wrong. Hopefully this will please.
I'm guessing you want assign CT colons space. No, CT colon, and there's a CT space between the colon and word.
You're right.
Just grab this. My bad.
That should do it. Instead of calling it control tower, they call it CT, which kind of throws you off. But the program is actually control tower. And I think while I was doing this,
CT is a good abbreviation. Yes. Yes.
well, let's see if that'll like that. Maybe that'll like it. I can control tower to do what? So I can maybe get control tower to load and run through image effects. It'll bypass its requester. Go straight to it.
I guess you probably just want to take the CD drive with you and we'll play with it at home, whatever.
Yeah,
Okay. Oh,
it's not going to be such a big deal now when they come out with these with this new batch of Buddha controllers. I can't tell you the amount. I probably have 15 or 20 IDE DVD burners laying around in my garage.
mhm.
You know, different Macs, different projects I've done. Just no SCSI ones. The only SCSI ones I've got is 2 old Yamaha ones, and none of these toasters like them for some reason. I don't know why. They just,
Uh-oh, this is a Yamaha.
well, it's just certain Yamahas they like, fine.
Huh.
4060 are good, and certain others good, but evidently the 2 ones I've got, it's not happy with.
This is the last one.
Hey, Ron. Mark Seidel, so basically on our chat here, and he was just saying he hadn't talked to you since 1994.
Yeah, we used to, go back in 94, I'm trying to remember what the heck we were doing. I think we were running a tire store, to tell you the truth, at that time.
But you and Mark, or what?
Yeah. I think that's what. Ask him if that's correct, wouldn't it,
Let's just do this here real quick. That way we can do a little
Santa Fe Tire Company.
Santa Fe Tire Company. Hang on, there we go. All right, so here we go. You can look here at the camera and say hi to Mark.
Mark. Was that Santa Fe Tire Company? Wasn't that what we worked at?
Like I said, he put some stuff on video for you. But we'll see if he recognizes the Santa Fe Tire Company.
Yeah, that did it.
Got it working?
Like that better.
Oh, the control tower.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, see, you could load your frames, you can come over to here, this is what was so neat with it, when we're working with it. You come over to here, we go to, let's go to frame stores. Select with demo. Select all. Then we could go to image effects and say frames to an Anim 5. We would take all those frames and build them into an Anim for you.
Mhm.
Do image effects or an Anim 7, or change it to BMPs, or change them into frame stores, but they're already frame stores, or change them into GIFs or TIFFs or JPEGs or TIFFs or SDI, soft image, target, wavefront. And let's see what Amiga DOS would do. Amiga DOS would add a program to the flyer, copy files, extract LSJ, archives, move files, renumber them, blah, blah, blah. And then the actual toaster switcher change frame stores into IFS, or IFS into frame stores, import anything to frame stores. That means any image put in there, the toaster will just import it. Whether it's a TIFF, a GIF, soft image, or wavefront, you know, hit file, whatever. This one, it would make icons for everything that you need. So, that was pretty cool. I always use image effects and do that, describe it, you know. The script will load individual frames into image effects. It will then record whatever options the user selects and will process the selections on each frame, then save them out as JPEG images. And I tell you, I did many a photo collage, image effects and control tower. And that's just what saved us so many times. You just have, well, people bring in, you know, we did one slide job. We had these Elmo trans videos. I don't know if you ever saw one. They looked like a ectographic slide projector, but it had a video chip built in. And it gave you a direct composite video out. And you could get the remote control and you would do this slide, next slide. We had a person that brought us in something like 42 slide trays, each one with 80 slides in it. And I think 6,100 slides we had to do for this job. So we were taking like turns doing it, you know, 8 hours a day. You know, I'd do it, and then Shane would do it, and somebody else would do it, blah, blah, blah. You know, not for these programs, we'd probably still be sitting there. one at a time, you know, this kind of nonsense. But we were able to put them all in there, capture them in frame stores, you know, change the JPEG, whatever we had to do, and run the control tower through image effects, and accomplish it, you know, reasonably easy time, you know, like a week, you know, which is not bad for, I don't remember the exact number, but there's something over 6,000 slides.
Yeah.
Which is a lot to do. But it wasn't uncommon for people just to bring in a big cardboard box and it just be, who knows how many pictures in there. You just have to, you know, ask them, you know, well, how do you want this done? Oh, I don't care. I don't care. I said, well, don't you want them in chronological order? Yeah, can't you put them? I said, I don't really know your family. I don't put them in chronological. You'll have to kind of do that for us, you know. And that's pretty common, believe it or not. You know, they come and dump you a big, here, can you make me something? Yeah, I can make you something, but you need to, what are these, you know? Can you at least put them in a chronological order and tell me what's what, you know, and I'll be happy to do, you know, whatever else. Anyway, we got that. Maybe we can sneak around now and do something. Now maybe we can try to get back to the control tower to do something with it. Okay, let's just see. Do something here. Okay, it's asking if I want to perform any other, you know, do I want to adjust the image hue or adjust the gamma or the contrast or any of that kind of stuff, hold the center image or anything. And I really don't want to do anything else to it, but you could pick something else, crop the image, and it'll let you do the first one, and then it'll follow everyone after that, do it the exact same way. I just said, no, I don't want to do that. I'm going to ask me where I want to save it. So let's do it. I think I made a dummy drawer over here somewhere.
Was it, go back, called crap?
Yeah, that's, I don't know what that was. I didn't think that one. That one was
Okay.
on there when I got it. I just haven't done anything with it. I should probably See what's going in it, flash ROM. I kind of inherited that one. It just kind of came with it.
I won't blame it on you then.
This one, see, I've used that already to transfer some files from my Mac onto this one. So we'll just use that one. And we'll call these, here, there. Ah, there you go, see, it's gonna do it, because I not have to go through the load requester.
Oh, all right.
There you go. Now I've got the screen resolution set real low, I should have set it some higher. There you go, it took that, that's a robot. It's from Lightwave, and it saved it out as a JPEG.
Okay.
Now it's saving that one. Boom, it's gonna go in there and grab the next one. Do the same thing. It's working on two. Anyway, those two programs saved us. I mean, we wouldn't have been able to keep on video going with all the stuff we were doing without those programs. 'Cause, we used to get in, just so many photographs to transfer, stuff like that. Toaster, image effects, and control tower really made it possible to do that kind of stuff. Now, we can probably go back, image effect, and we can watch the things. Load it. Oh, it's not going to refresh it. It's going to keep that. I mean, it's loading the next one, it's converting it, but it's not going to show it.
Oh, okay.
I didn't tell it to. I left it on lower resolution. But it's doing it. You can see it load frame stores and blue.
Needs us converting, I guess, movie slides into JPEGs.
Yeah, these are, the only thing that was on here was a bunch of the original demo frame stores.
Sure.
From the toaster. So I just told it to take all those demo lightweight frame stores and convert them into JPEGs. And by having Control Tower do it, we're able to get around the goofy requester in image effects because the Control Tower is running image effects. So it's bypassed that loader, completely. It doesn't require that. So it's able to do it. Actually, for a little 040, those are pretty big files.
Yeah.
It's loading them and converting them pretty quick, actually. Each one of those files is a 752 by 480, and they're 24-bit frame stores, so they're, I think each one is probably close to a megabyte size. So, that's, this little GBP accelerator is doing pretty good. And let's go back to the Control Tower. It's moved up, it's on 6 from 28. We'll do a couple more and then we'll abort it, get out of it. At least you got to see that working.
Well, that was actually pretty cool.
The one thing I always used to love about this at the time was the fact that you could multitask on it, flip back and forth. And all my Windows friends are sitting there, they couldn't understand, what are you doing? I said, well, I'm running this, but I need to run this program too. You can do that? Yeah, you can do that. Pretty easy, actually. Watch. Boom, boom. I'm still amazed by what these things can do with such small resources. Yes. I mean, think about it. This is a 40 megahertz, 68040, 40 megahertz. My home computer is a Mac Pro 5.1. It's a quad core, 3 gigahertz, machine. That's what I normally use. And this is a little 68040, 40 megahertz. Doing just fine with very small resources. I mean, I love my Mac and everything else, but they're nowhere near as efficient as these things were. I mean, what they're able to accomplish and do with such as, 16 megs of RAM. We thought that was, oh man, that's a lot.
Mhm.
Well, not in today's world, and so.
You got the CPU caches turned on?
Yep. I believe. Oh. Get out of there and just see what we've done. It'll take it a second. Come on. I know you're safe in that. But yes. Thank you. There it is. That's one of the toaster things. Well, there we go. That's more like it. That was the one that we stopped on. That's when the light blade came out. If I couldn't get the toaster up, all I could do was 16 color. You know, but there you go. That's coming out of. No, it just doesn't like that monitor output. It's just not going to let me load something else. I know the buffer will be destroyed. All right, never mind. Anyway, I can't get another one to load up, but you can see the way those things work.
Mhm.
I don't have anything but the toaster card in here. If you get this to render to hand. These are wrong. Yeah, there's that good old ham mode. Old and modified.
Mhm.
Got that good old ham carrying on it. Oh, EPH. There you go. Right now.
What is?
Yeah, extra half right. But, you know, it's kind of strange, but oh, whatever. Actually, if I'd have done it with a couple of filters on it, probably would have looked better. Oh, one thing that guy from Individual Computers, one thing he did tell me about those Indivision cards that they programmed. Do you remember the old graffiti graphic cards? The Indivisions are programmed with that already built in. And so you'll be able to run all those old graffiti graphic modes, even on a ECS 2000. He said, yeah, you'll be able to get 256 colors out, you know, we programmed it to run all those graffiti graphic modes. I said, that's cool. I said, you know, because, you know, normally ECS chipset will only do 16 colors. It'll do that ham, hold it, modify garbage, you know, that never did work very well. You can get more colors out of it, but it always looks nasty.
Mm-hmm.
But he said, yeah, you'll be able to get 256 color, you know, in graffiti graphic mode. But I said, that's good, you know. It's worthwhile putting it in these things, you know, because the only other way you're gonna get it is by having a retardable card, you know, a Picasso or a Cyber Vision or something. Good luck finding one of those, you know. I owned to each one of those cards, and I should have kept them all, you know, but I didn't. Well, we got it to render out the last frame store.
Nice. Were you able to do higher resolution?
We were playing around with the different goofy modes, you know, like ham and EVH mode.
What is ham?
Hold and modify,
Okay, EBH then is,
extra half frame. Ham is kind of a, well, here I'll show you, it's kind of a, it was a way for them to get more colors out of a 16 color chip. But you always usually will see tearing on the left side of the screen.
what is it on the left side?
That's tearing, or it just always does that.
Good old trying, whatever.
Look at that. Yeah.
That's the frame store from Lightwave demo. That's the last one we rented out. You see, normally if you do it as a high-res NTSC laced, we'll do this 4-way high.
Hey, let me catch up on what Mark said on chat. He said he used to come over with Reed Hall and watch crazy movies with you guys. That's the first thing he said.
That's correct.
It says, he asked a question. It says, Ron, are you still doing stop motion? Ron was sort of a local Ray Harryhausen back when I knew him.
Yeah, the last thing I did was the Terminator one for Rodney DM.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Terminator commercial?
yeah, the Terminator commercial.
Ooh, that'd be interesting to see.
I still have the armature model and everything sitting on my panel, you know.
Uh-huh.
I still have that. Okay, that's regular NTSC high resolution. You see there's no tearing, but you only have 16 colors. You know, but it's not a bad, you know, it's not bad.
It's not bad.
An AGA machine, it would look a lot better, you know. Or if this had a Picasso card in it or something, definitely look, you know, much better. That's what was in there.
Do you have a higher res of that robot?
No, unfortunately, we didn't get it. It's the only thing that was in the buffer was that last goofy thing there.
Okay.
And I just did something goofy, crashed it.
Well, the last thing he says, ask Ron if he's using Lightwave on the Mac.
No, I really don't do much of this stuff anymore. I mean, I hadn't even done anything with these until I inherited these, and I just kind of got interested back in them again. Well, this was kind of fun. I think I will just get back in and do some stuff on these things. And
It's fun to tinker with, isn't it?
they are. They're. I've been enjoying myself. My wife is funny, annoyed at me. Because the garage has got these things spread all over the place, parts every which way, and I said, but you know, I've enjoyed working on them, taking them apart. I mean, I'm not going to enjoy changing the batteries out. That's a pain. It always has been.
Yeah.
You know, I don't like pulling the motherboard out and soldering on it. I mean, I've done it plenty of times. No fun in that. There's no way to make that enjoyable.
No.
You know? But, you know, seeing them boot back up, seeing them work, and, you know, playing around with some of these things. I mean, I rendered that a scene in Lightwave, which I wish we could get the toaster up. Last week on this one here, I rendered that little short space scene with 2 spacecrafts. I rendered the whole thing out, you know.
Cool.
And made a set of TIFF files, you know, but for a second on that. Took the TIFF files with that zip drive, taking them in there to the Mac, put them in QuickTime, and put it all together, you know. And I got the Lightwave scene with the 2 spacecrafts flying through space. I said,
By chance at your Mac, what did you do?
you ever seen a Mac Pro?
Well, yeah, okay, right.
About that tall, weighs about 100 pounds. It's not something that you carry around with you.
Yeah.
I love it, but, you know, it's just not something that you carry around. You
It's a
know,
Mac Pro desktop.
Mine is actually in the desk. I bought a desk where it's actually got a cubby hole where it's just big enough where I can just slide it in. And, made it fit there. I got Macs for all of us. I bought one for my wife, I bought a Mac Pro for her, I bought a Mac Pro for my daughter, and of course, I bought one for myself.
Mm-hmm.
We had old G4s. You know, I changed those to, at the time they called them G5s. Kind of looks like a Mac Pro, same type of case, aluminum case. But then, that's one thing I don't like about modern computers, the planned obsolescence. You know,
Oh, yeah.
I still have my G5s in the storage shed, not a thing wrong with them. They run perfect, but, oh, I can't get the latest version of Flash. We don't support PowerPC anymore, so, you know, you can't do this, you can't do that. Not a thing wrong with the computers, but you can't use them anymore because, you know, they don't support this, they don't support that. And that's why we changed from those. I said, we're gonna get Mac Pros because we'll be safe for a while. You know, we'll be safe for a while.
I'm still using G4 Max for some projects.
I still have one G4.
Yeah.
I still have one G4. I mean, it's a 786 processor, I think. You know, big 256 megs of RAM. That was big at the time, you know. My daughter actually does some programming. And she's got one client that she has to program some stuff for. And the only compiler that'll work on a G4. It won't run on her G5. And it will run on the Mac Pro. She has to use the old G4. So I still have one working G4 that she uses to compile these scripts for. Still got some use to it.
Yeah. Mark Seidel's calling the Mac Pro the cheese grater Mac.
It is, I guess it's a aluminum case. It's got a beautiful case, a lovely case. And it's, mine's fast. I mean, mine's got a 5.1 with a quad core, 3 gigahertz Xenon.
Wow.
I've got that ATI, that 5880, 1 gig graphics card in it. It gives I use a 24-inch flat screen on it. It runs great, you know. But I haven't been using it. I've been playing with this instead. I've been having more fun on this old 2500, doing stuff on it, you know, little playing with directory opus and things like that. I mean, that's really what I missed. I mean, when I first got this thing up, I said, oh, directory opus. Oh, yeah. Let me get, you know, I forgot what a joy it was to have that. You know, they don't really have, I have something on the Mac called a double commander, which is kind of similar to it, but pretty crude, you know, and it's not really much fun. A lot of nights, like when I was doing that lightweight thing, I was just, you know, sitting out in my garage enjoying it because I'm running directory open. So yeah, I can copy all these to the zip. This is fun. I'll do this. And, spending hours out there doing that kind of stuff. It took 8 hours to render out that whole scene. It's 200 and some odd frames. Yeah. And, put the whole thing together. The next meeting, I'll put it on DVD and bring it out. It's kind of cool. I mean, I'd forgotten how much fun it was just, you know, running lightweight and doing some of those scenes and rendering out those things and having fun with it, you know.
Yeah, I'd like to see that.
Yeah. I didn't make the scene. It's just a pre-done scene that they give you that's in lightweight, and but it's a neat one. They've got some scenes from. Y'all remember the old Babylon 5?
Of course.
Oh, absolutely.
It's got scenes in lightweight. It's got 3 or 4 of the waterships really a neat underwater scene, and I'd like to render it out. It's it's like 495 frames. Like now, you're talking probably 2 days on this thing, 2 or 3 days of rendering straight.
Yeah.
But I rendered that 2 or 3 frames from the middle of it. It's really cool. We've got 2 little submarines, and they're zipping. I don't think Babylon 5, that's from Sequest. It's got
Sequest.
2 or 3 of the scenes from Sequest DSB in it.
I forgot that Amigas were used for Sequest.
Yeah,
That's
and
right.
it's also it does have a Babylon 5 scene. It's got some scenes from Blade Runner. It's got that cool scene with the big 100-foot tall flat screen with the girl's face on it that they're going by. It's got that scene in there, which is neat. Now it looked like it was pretty intense. I've never rendered it out completely, but it was 698 frames, full resolution. So, you're probably talking 3 or 4 days of rendering there on a single 040 to get that done. But I do have that spaceship. I'll be happy to bring that. Maybe I'll do for your next meeting. I'll start a week early and I'll render out that Sequest scene. I'll put it on a DVD for you.
Leave it on for several days.
Well, that's the easy thing about it. It's a pre-done scene. All I have to do is just go in there and say, load this scene, save them all out as TIFF files, make a directory, turn it on, and walk away. Turn off the monitor, come back, and next day and check it to see what frame it's on, and just let it sit there and run away.
Wow.
But we need to try and be out of here in about 10 minutes or so.
Yeah.
Now you know why NewTek made that thing called a Screamer. They had a separate render engine for these things. It looked almost like a Mac. And they had like 8 processors in it. It was called a Screamer. And the Screamer had to network it to there because they knew they'd never get the lightweight. Well, you could do it on these things with Screamer now, but you'd have to have 50 of these machines.
Yeah.
And all run through Screamer now.
Mm-hmm.
How much would the Screamers boost the rendering?
Oh, it was 8 MIPS processors, 8 400 megahertz MIPS processors. Oh, it was 100 times faster.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
And it was a separate computer made by them called a Screamer. And it made it plug right into the toaster and do its deal.
Mm-hmm.
Anywho, that's that. I'm sorry I couldn't get the toaster up.
Well, that's okay.
I'll bring one. I'll bring it with the Indivision ECS in the thing, and we can plug it into a flat screen. You can see it running. Or you might be able to plug it into here to the Indivision because it'll have a VGA out.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy told me, he said, you can plug a DVI out directly into this, and it'll work perfect.
Okay.
And he promised me it was completely toaster compatible. So, take them at their word. We're done. I'm gonna go ahead and turn this thing off. I can't think of anything else. I don't have too much really on this thing.
No games, huh?
Now, I do like this controller. This is one of the best ones because this is just a regular PC mouse.
Yeah.
The new version is supposed to be able to take USB mice, so
Mm-hmm.
hopefully. But that's everything I've got. Yeah, did Mark ever go back? I'm pretty sure Mark and I go back to, I think we're both working for a tire company. I think it was Santa Fe Tire Company or something like that.
Yeah, I haven't said anything about the Santa Fe Tire Company.
I think that's what it was.
Difficult to say. But he definitely was happy to see you.
When you pass the 6.0 mark, your brain stops working as well as it used to. I'm at the 6.5 mark, so I guess mine is really not working that great anymore.
I'm glad you're having fun with the Amigas again. Glad you're having fun with the Amigas again.
Yeah, well, I got 3 of them. I had none before, now I have 3 of them.
Yeah.
I was actually getting into trouble today. I was stopping at computer stores looking for them.
Really?
Yeah.
You have any luck?
No, I stopped at a place I used to go to called Trans Computers out there on Garland Road because I had found an Amiga 3000 in there.
Sure.
And I went in there and it was been so many years since I've been in there. The owner had passed away and his son was running. I said, you wouldn't happen to have any Commodores or Amigas in here? And he goes, what's that?
That sounds about right.
And I said, well, I doubt if you do. But he was real nice. He took my name down. He said, well, I get people bringing stuff in all the time for recycling. If I find any, I'll call you. I said, cool. I said,
I think it was real sad when electronic discount sales over here in Arlington went out of business. They were good, always good for a lot of that stuff.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they closed down the shop this last summer, basically. Was it this last summer or was it last fall?
I don't remember exactly when it was, but
well, the last company I worked for was ECI Video, and they've been around since 1948. But the owner was 86 years old, I think, or something, and decided he'd had enough.
Yeah. Well, Mark says he didn't remember very much about the tire place, but he thanks you for the demo.
Hey, no problem.
I definitely thank you too. It was really fascinating.
yes.
Hopefully we'll see more of that. Well, we're
Well,
wrapping
if you
up.
guys want, I'll
Do our
be
work.
happy to do that on this thing. I'll render out one of those lightweight scenes and bring it for your next one.
Please.
Well, that would be
You can
wonderful.
unplug that too if you don't mind.
Sure. I would be more than happy to do that.
Okay.
I mean, it's not gonna take me any time. All I'm gonna do is just set it and walk away.
So walk away, come back a few days later.
Come back and,
I've had to do that, especially in the early Macs, you know. I compressed about 25 megs once of stuff and it took it like 3 days on Mac Plus.
well, my first Mac was a Lisa.
Right?
You remember Lisa's?
You actually had a Lisa?
Yeah.
I remember the name.
Those things are expensive, man.
Yeah, they were. I got it used. So I paid a fortune for it and I thought I was hot stuff.
It was.
Man, I got 2 5 1/4 floppies. I am just,
So basically a prototype Mac is what it was.
yeah.
Okay. This, for those of you watching, this has been our September meeting with Ron Dillard on his Amiga 2500 with video registered. And it's actually pretty cool, especially 39 running on it. And we'll be here next month, about this time. So we'll see you then. You guys take care. Good night.